been getting a lot of attention. The new ice blue titanium TAG Heuer Aquaracer Solargraph. I mean, just look at it. It's a beautiful watch. But the real question is there more to it than just a pretty face? Let's get into it. And really, that's a huge question for any watch brand today, right? The market is just crowded. So how do you make a classic watch, like an Aquaracer, really stand out? That's the puzzle TAG Heuer is trying to solve here, and we're going to dig into their strategy. Okay, so before we even get to the watch itself, we've got to understand the why. What problem is this watch supposed to fix? Because every great design, it starts with a challenge, and for TAG Heuer, that challenge was coming from inside the house, so to speak. So here's the deal. The Solargraph movement, this super cool light-powered engine, that was supposed to be a big deal for the premium Aquaracer. But then, TAG Heuer put that same exact tech into their more affordable Formula One watches. So now the Aquaracer is in this weird position. It's got to justify its higher price tag. Why should you spend more on this watch? So what's the move? How does TAG Heuer fight back? Well, it's not just about beefing up the specs. It's about style. And their answer is, well, it's this incredibly cool icy blue dial. And this look is all about that color. Now, this isn't that bright, kind of trendy turquoise that's everywhere right now. Nope, this is different. This one, it really does feel like you're staring through a layer of thin ice into some super deep, cold water. It's a much more serious, almost haunting shade of blue. It's got some real personality to it. So you're probably wondering, how'd they pull off that icy look? It's pretty clever, actually. It's not just one flat dial. What you're seeing is a stack. On top, there's a frosted transparent layer. That's where you get the texture. Underneath that, there's another layer with a sunburst finish that provides the actual blue color. The result is this amazing sense of depth. It makes the hour markers look like they're literally floating above the dial, casting these cool little shadows. It's just brilliant, really. They took a technical requirement. The dial has to be see-through for the solar cells, and turned it into the star of the show. But listen, a great dial is nothing without a great case to put it in. So let's flip it over and talk about the hardware, the anatomy of this thing as a true tool watch. A huge part of this watch's story is just how it feels on your wrist. And that all starts with the case. It's made of matte blasted titanium, which means it is shockingly lightweight. I mean, it's so comfortable you could almost forget you're wearing it. And the dimensions? Perfect. It's 40 millimeters across, but only about 10 millimeters thick, so it's super sleek, not one of those big, chunky sports watches. Throw in 200 meters of water resistance, and yeah, this thing is built to be used. And all the little design details, they just scream tool watch. That matte finish is coarse, almost gritty. The lugs and case are all sharp angles. And then you have that bold 12-sided bezel. Everything about it feels deliberate and purposeful. It's not trying to be pretty or delicate. This is a tough, get-it-done kind of sports watch, right down to that cool compass rose on the back. Okay, let's talk about the engine under the hood, the movement. This is the heart of any watch, and with this one, well, there's been some chatter, a little bit of online controversy, which honestly just makes it more fun to talk about. So here's the big question that keeps popping up on watch forums and in comment sections. Is this thing just a citizen eco-drive in a fancy TAG Heuer costume? And it's a fair question. You can see why people might think that. There are some definite similarities in how they're built. But the real story is a little more complicated than that. Yes, these share a similar base architecture, but they're not the same movement. TAG Heuer actually worked with a specialist company, Le Joe Perret, to develop the TH50-00. They engineered it to have its own specific advantages. So the key thing to remember is this. They might be cousins, technologically speaking, but they're definitely not twins. They're built for different things. And here is where you see the payoff for TAG Heuer's approach. Because they used larger solar cells, the TH50-00 gets a massive 10-month power reserve from just 20 hours of sunlight. Think about that. 10 months. That's a huge real-world advantage for anyone wearing it. You could stick it in a drawer in total darkness, and it would still be taking 6 months later. That's just wild. Okay, So, we've talked about the problem TAG Heuer was facing, the beautiful icy dial, the tough titanium case, and the powerhouse solar engine. Now, let's put it all together. Did they do it? Does this watch actually manage to set the Aquaracer line apart from the pack? When it's all said and done, it comes down to one thing. How does it feel to actually wear it? And on that front, this watch is an absolute home run. The combo of the light titanium case and that really flexible bracelet, it makes it one of the most comfortable sports watches, period. It's just so easy to wear. That mix of being tough-looking but feeling incredibly comfortable, that's a winning formula. But we can't ignore the elephant in the room. The price. We're talking $3,350. That's not cheap. And it puts this watch right in the middle of a knife fight with some really, really good competition. So back to our original question. Does it solve the dilemma? I think the answer is a definite yes, but with a catch. Yes, that ice blue dial makes it the most special and interesting watch in the whole Solargraph family. And yes, it's a phenomenal, easy-wearing sports watch. But that price, it means this watch really has to prove its worth against some tough contenders. And that really leaves us with one final big question. This watch, it's not really about the spec sheet. It's about a feeling. It's about a unique design and an amazing on-rest experience. So the question it asks you is, in the world of modern luxury watches, how much is that unique character, that special feeling, actually worth? Is it worth a premium? And that, well, that's a question only you can answer. Thanks for tuning in to The Explainer.